Well, Suchya here again with geography and agriculture as the topic that I take up today. In India, most of the people are dependent on agriculture, especially in the rural areas. And you must know that the first occupation of man was also agriculture, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly. If you learn about the primitive man, you must know that when he actually learnt the art of agriculture, he started having a settled life for himself. This gave him more time for recreation and thus he indulged in so many other activities. So that was the beginning of settlement of human life when he started with agriculture. But here we are going to talk about Indian agriculture as on today. And as ever, first of all, I'll pick up all the difficult terms and concepts before I start with the chapter. Agriculture. Now, when generally you talk about agriculture, the first thing that comes to your mind is a farmer working in the field. But actually, the real definition of agriculture is, it is an economic activity not only meant for cultivation of crops, but also cattle rearing and fishing too. So, the economic activities which deal with crop cultivation, cattle rearing and fishing is termed as agriculture. Now, I go to the next term, which is commercial farming. The word itself tells us that farming, when it is done for getting money, when it becomes commercialized, that kind of farming is commercial farming. So, commercial farming in fact is done by modern techniques and it is meant for commercial purpose. Therefore, the production is also very high. Next is green revolution. Now, green means anything to do with what is grown on the fields, the plants, the trees. So, the green revolution. Green revolution is when the farmers use best seeds, best machines and best fertilizers to grow their production. That is called as green revolution. And this builds in a good economy for the country. Next is horticulture. Horticulture is in fact specialized farming meant for fruits and vegetables alone. Next is plantation agriculture. Every time I have been telling you just one thing, whenever the term is difficult, just break it. And so here, plantation agriculture. Plantation means when you are growing something on a very large scale, but the crop is single. Okay? So, when a single crop is grown on a very huge farm, that is plantation agriculture. But remember, plantation agriculture is in fact labor and capital intensive. That is, you need lot of people to work in that farm and you also need lot of money. Next is primitive subsistence farming. Again, let's break the words. Primitive is old kind of farming that's prevalent in India. Okay, so the primitive farming is in fact when the fields are very small and when primitive tools are used by the farmers, maybe because he doesn't have money to buy the modern technology or it is because he is unwilling to do so. And the most prominent feature here is that it is in fact shifting cultivation. Now, what is shifting cultivation? It so happens that a farmer grows a particular crop on a patch of land and then when it becomes unfertile or when it is unfit for cultivation, he actually moves to the next piece of land. That's shifting cultivation. So, this primitive subsistence farming is in fact the old method of farming, when the farmers did not use the fertilizers or the tractors or the threshers, and they just had very old techniques, and it was meant for people who kept moving from one place to another, almost like a nomadic farming. Well, I continue with the terms in the next clipping.